Welcome back to Planting Life Matters. Welcome back to Planting Life Matters. If this is your first time, hey, come on and take this journey with me. You'll get to see how I am building out my dream garden in the front and in the back of my home. And I have my wonderful grandchildren to help me out from time to time, because really that's what planting life is all about. My grandbabies. Look at that. What are you doing, man?
Welcome to the water hose.
Oh, goodness. I remember the days. So last week, I showed you where I had dug out most of the grass and planted a plumbago. And the plan is to add some succulent, drought-tolerant plants, such as a few rock and grow and also some lantana. And I am just defining the area, trying to figure out the best approach, because once I get over on the other side of the sidewalk, that area is dead as well, as far as just not getting irrigation. And I have to kind of play those two together. At least that's what I have in my mind. So I went and picked up soil. I talked about that last week, how I had a yard of compost dumped into my truck, and which really helps to save money by not paying for the delivery. The problem is I still have soil in my truck 1 week later because it's been just too hot to get it out and to progress this project alone. So that's the only downside. If you're going to pick up a yard, make sure you have someone that can help you out if you don't have time to do it yourself. And that's where I went wrong. I need to pick up some rock and some other things, some mulch, and I can't do it yet because I still have all the soil in the back of my truck. Well, it is finally time, y'all. I am upgrading from the PMW, poor man's wheelbarrow, to getting my tires replaced. I kept getting comments from people about, you just need to put air in it. No, that wasn't it. I would know to just put air inside of a tire if it was just deflated. If you can see, and I'm gonna get super close for those that kept fussing at me about just put air in it. Child, air was not going to help that, but it's all good. I finally found some affordable tire replacements because most of them were costing more than the cart itself. And I was just being cheap. I'm just being honest, I was being cheap. So I'm getting ready to replace them so we can get back in business. I have a ton of soil that I need to remove from my truck. That is 1 yard of soil, and I need to pick up 3 more yards of material, and I have to be able to haul that. Yeah, someone reminded me, work smarter, not harder. So let's get to it. So I had to take a break. I was going to keep working in the rain, but my neighbors already think I'm the crazy plant lady. And it's so humid and so hot, it does not feel bad at all just standing in it. But sometimes you just got to stop and draw the line so people don't think you just total bonkers. So I had to, I backed my truck halfway in the garage so the bed would be underneath the garage because I have all this soil left. I've done only a couple of loads of scooping so far. It wouldn't hurt the dirt. It would just probably make it a lot more compact and difficult to get out if it was soaking wet. So I'm thankful for the rain every single time because that means I don't have to water today. So as soon as it stops, I will get back to it. I can't let the tailgate down just yet because if I do, all of the soil is going to dump, and I don't want it to dump right now. So I'm just grabbing a little bit and dumping it into my raggedy cart. So I was going to put my wheels on earlier, but I couldn't get the old wheels off. So my nephew is coming to help me tomorrow. So I'm going to do as much as I can right now by filling this up. It still rolls. This is actually more comfortable than me digging from the ground and standing, to be honest. So I can still pull this over and it still rolls to the site. So I'm gonna take that over there right now. I don't want to dig a hole in this area because I'm worried about wiring. Don't want to put out anybody's internet, not electrical. So I put the plants where I want them. I'm going to place dirt around it to build up a bit of a berm. And then remove the plant from the pot. These are not going to stay here. I don't know where those are going to go yet. Now, if it don't cave all in, can you come here and get a look at a little closer what I'm doing? And then I'm gonna take this out. Now I can just slip that in there and that's it. So that's the idea. Because I don't want to dig in this area. There's also are plants, again, that are drought tolerant. But if they ever had to come and dig this up, there's no big, huge love loss with this. It'll be okay if I have to redo something. All right. So these three should fill this entire area over time. And that's how you build up a mini berm. And I want them to be different heights and different levels to make them look more natural. I didn't want just one straight berm like that. So there are these intermittent areas and dips. So I'm gonna come through and finish putting soil, and then some rocks will go into place. And then we'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to show a semi-final product. I say that because it's never done, but for right now, I think we're gonna call it done. I added some blue glass on top of the white rocks, and I was trying to mimic this pattern right here. I really, really love that pattern. And so if I go a little closer, you can see that pot over there. So that was my inspiration behind the blue and white. So pretty much wherever you see rocks, there is landscape fabric. And then there is such thing as glass mulch. I didn't know that till recently. This isn't glass mulch, but it is that type of glass that you can buy like in a craft area. Or even, I shouldn't say craft, but like if you go into Home Depot or Lowe's, in the section where you buy the gas fireplaces, you can put these in your fire pits. And so that's where I got that from, actually. And so I'm still going to be adding some more rocks in this area, eventually something that is brown and tan that would go in this area here or on the outside, because I need to define my edging a lot more. And I want to do that also because of just adding a little more depth with the white rocks, so it's just not so out of place because I don't have white rocks anywhere in my landscape. And so there will be some larger rocks and tan rocks to kind of finish off the edging around this side too. So I added more blue all the way down, and then the illusion in my little mind is that it goes under the sidewalk and it picks up over here. So here are some brown rocks here, even though I ran out, but you get the point. So just a little bit of white there. And if I come around on this side, it's spilling out of the little pot that matches the larger one on the other side. And I added a Mystic Spires blue that I planted from another location. The Blue Days is right there. Another Blue Days on the other side, and a purple fountain grass is not looking too good right now in the center. That all will fill in. These are large plants. The Blue Days actually spreads, so it looks really thin now, but it will fill in over time. So I did the same thing. My dog is such a trip. I don't blame her because St. Aug feels so good, and it had the sprinkler on earlier, so it's nice and cool and wet. But I did the same thing on this side where there's another spiller, pretty much the same plants with the purple fountain grass. You can see that it looks much more happy. This one's been in the ground for a while. And so just the brown rocks, I'm gonna go pick up more of those to make this area a little thicker. And then on the other side over there, there's another flower bed to kind of add some symmetry to entering into the driveway. So that's it. I did add also some blue spruce sedum um, here that will get thick over time and start to sprawl over the rocks, and a little bit inside the pot next to some Rock and Grow. I think this is a Proven Winners Rock and Grow. Black on black is the variety. Now those get pretty large. Well, I say pretty large. They'll probably get by 2 by 2, and over time, so all that dirt will be gone. You won't see that once those grow in, and they're drought tolerant and also pretty hardy in the winter. So those should be just fine as well. So I'm going to give you an update now. As I start to wrap this video up for this week, I want to share with you where we are on the side project. So for right now, I got the second planter out here. My granddaughter Madison and I put these together. And I would say it takes probably, for me, doing it by myself, it would have taken me at least 2 to 3 hours per planter on the first one. Once you get the first one down, you know what to do for the second one. Second one went a lot faster, but I'm glad I had her help. Now, I originally started out, as I said earlier, with having cardboard on my side, and that was to kill off the grass. This was a slow process, only because I am working in 100-degree temps, or trying not to. So what I did was just put some grass killer down, and then put cardboard, and literally left it all week long. Wait till the weekend, come out really early in the morning, and try to do a little bit of work. I left the grass in the middle because I want to have my center grass pathway. And then on her side, I started to lay the cardboard down. If you're doing this, always be cognizant of your sprinkler heads. There's one there. And so I have not covered any of her sprinkler heads. Her sprinkler system is not working right now, but that may change. She may have to come in and get some of those repaired later. So for right now, I'm going to, in this area here, by the way, I did kill the grass off, but that's going to be stone or rock on this side. And the same thing here where I'm killing off the grass, because it was really hard to try to mow around the edges of this archway. So all that will be stone, because this is where my watering system is set up. And so I'm not going to be planting anything in this area. So I've decided, I've been toying with the idea, should I do mulch in between my beds, or should I do stone in between my beds? I have decided I'm going to go with stone. It is a little bit more pricey, I think, in the beginning, but long term, just like in the back of my garden, I am much happier with my stone pathways. I do get an occasional weed, and if I don't take care of it and pull it right then, yes, it can grow back in. But I think less maintenance in the long run will be with the stone gravel pathways, because I do like, here's a little weed here. Okay, when I see that, I typically just pull it right out and that's it. It's really simple. I did let this go earlier this season for about 3 weeks when we hit the sun and the growing season. They started to really pop out. But I came through with some Roundup, sprayed them. I'm back in business within a day. Not a huge deal. So I enjoy my pathways. I'm going to go with the same stone in between the actual beds. Man, listen to that bird. He's been here for 2 weeks straight. Let me see if I can grab him. I know the closer I get, he's going to go. It's a red cardinal, and he is all over the place. He taps at my back door. He wakes me up tapping at my bedroom window. He just took off. But the mirrors in the garden, he's been tapping at it because he thinks there's another cardinal. He's not flying into it. For those of you that are worried about my mirrors in the garden, they are not going away. I understand that birds can fly into a mirror. Mine are positioned pretty low. This one, he's tapping at it because he thinks it's another bird. And I'm not getting rid of my windows because he's tapping at my windows also every single day. I love him, so I don't really mind. It's really interesting to watch his behavior though. So I'm gonna see if I can insert a little footage right about now. He found another mirror. Okay, so, all right, I'm gonna head back up here. I just thought I would, oh wait. Let me see how close I can get to him. Oh, I think I see him sitting on the fence maybe. I love coming out here in the morning. I literally, oh, there he is. I can go bird watching with my coffee. I have 2 more birds that have been staying here. One that was up in the grapevine. I thought we were gonna get babies, but it got so blistering hot that I came out here and I found her just sitting on the ground. And then her partner showed up, but I haven't seen babies yet. But they've been doing that for the last 3 years. I'm assuming it's the same bird, the same 2 birds. I don't know why, but they have the same behavior in the same spot for 3 years in a row, but never any babies. So that's my little quick update, and let's see what's next. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it here for the day. Just a final update so you'll have an idea of what the plan is. I have landscape fabric that I am going to put in between the planters, and also all the way down at the end where the greenhouse is going. Now, again, let me remind you, this is a very, very small greenhouse. It is only 6 by 4, 6 feet long and 4 feet wide. If you want to get an idea of what that looks like, well, look at the planter. The planter is 6 feet long and it is 3 feet wide. So it's not very big. However, it's very tall, and it will go up, if I can remember correctly, I can't remember, 7 or 8 feet tall. It will make its way up to the eaves of the roof. So I can store things on shelves going up in the air. You have to use your vertical space with a greenhouse that small. So my goal was to try to make use of what land I have left. I don't have any room for a greenhouse, not a large one anyway, for my back garden. So I'm just having to stick something small in here. I'll be able to store some potted plants that, I typically lose and start all over again in the spring, and I'm kind of tired of doing that. So I want to save some money, even if it's just a little bit, it's worth it. And I'll be able to also store some of my supplies in the greenhouse maybe as well. So I have, again, fabric that I'm putting in between. I know I said earlier that I would do some type of rock that's very close to the rock I have in my pathways, but I just keep changing my mind. I have some pea gravel already, just a little bit. I think I'm gonna put some pea gravel down, and it's okay to blend the rocks. So, I'll start with a little bit of pea gravel, and then I may top it off with some of that same larger stone that I have on my pathways in the back. I'm definitely not going to do the mulch in between. So that's where I am. I'm going to finish putting some fabric down, and only on this side where the rock is going to go. I don't plan on, for right now, planting anything in between in our walking areas or in my utility areas right here. So I may leave a little bit of land without fabric down on the other end, just to put in maybe a planter or something in the ground, a plant in the ground. But on this side, it's going to be all mulch, potted plants that I'll have to run some irrigation to or hand water. I'm not going to plant anything in the ground right away. I have to debate on that. So that's where we're going to leave it for the day. Thank you guys so much as always. I appreciate your feedback. Let me know what you think about the plan so far. Have a good one.